We appreciate you watching and listening to The Dead Jeff Show. Please like and subscribe and tune in for more videos. All right, let's go into a WWE. Now, last time we talked to you, we already talked about Raw, so we're going to focus on SmackDown and then look at the SummerSlam preview. And honestly, SmackDown this past week, other than the CM Punk Cody Rhodes promo, was pretty Yeah. It was just like
mid.
It's maybe below mid for me. So, it's the whole Nick Aldis Gunther thing with the contract signing. Okay, I guess we need that, but it just didn't really move the needle for me. Does anyone expect Nick Aldis to beat Gunther in SummerSlam?
No.
I mean, shout out to Nick Aldis for getting his moment and getting to wrestle again, and maybe he will become a full-time wrestler again. He was a pretty good wrestler, but it's been years since he's wrestled. So I don't think anyone expects Gunther to lose. So other than that and the match at the end of the night with the number one contendership on the line, I guess you go to face Sami Zayn to be the number one contender.
Yep.
Really wasn't much to speak of. You had Finn Balor win that match to go on to face Sami Zayn. That doesn't excite me
at all.
The fact that the winner of that match gets to face the winner of CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, does not excite me.
Nope.
And so I really don't know what's happening here. And then, even Charlotte Flair couldn't really save this show. She did fine. But, Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair, how many times have we seen that?
Too many.
What do you love? What do you hate on SmackDown this past week?
So, I mean, you mentioned it, right? The CM Punk, Cody Rhodes promo, and just the entire build up to that has been wonderful. I've heard the criticism about Punk and Rhodes, and it's the kind of thing that you've heard Sammy say. Damian Priest kind of had his little thing about it. I'm not there where I'm tired of seeing these guys yet. This is not that space for me. And also, I think it also has to do with the fact that they're still doing very, very good work. So I'm still loving CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, just everything to do with that. I like the way they brought Nikki, had her little, she came back, had her little run in. It was okay. I didn't mind that. I think, not sure if that sets up now she goes for the titles again with Brie, or if it's a six woman kind of thing. But regardless, I was okay with that. And then that's where it'll stop for me on SmackDown. Everything after that it would be hard to pick out something that I liked. The Finn Balor Sami Zayn thing, I mean, you already touched on it, but I don't know why either of them versus either Punk or Rhodes does anything to excite me on any level. They would virtually have zero, just like Nick Aldis and Gunther. There's virtually 0% chance that Aldis beats Gunther. There's virtually 0% chance that Zayn or Balor would take the title off of Punk or Rhodes. It's almost like we're just playing musical chairs with the same 4 or 5 guys in the number one contender spot. That's more of the concern. It's not the guy at the top. It's the guy they're working with.
Well, and CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, it was a good promo battle. I think there's been some talk about Cody referencing a line that MJF used against CM Punk when he talked about dropping a nuke. I think that the thing that Cody had over MJF in the promo was that Cody actually did go out and do all the things that CM Punk said, and did it way better than CM Punk ever could. Matter of fact, CM Punk needed Cody to get the job there, at AEW. And so if you compare the after WWE careers of Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, that's obviously the advantage goes to Cody Rhodes. CM Punk did a great job on the mic here. I liked what Cody said. They're starting to get the more personal stuff involved in the feud, which makes me think this is going to be a feud, not just a 1-off or 2-off deal. But look, the biggest concern for me is, what is SmackDown going to do? Because they went from 3 hours to 2 hours, right? It was a 2-hour show, and we can't even get great content in a 2-hour show. I mean, the final match had like less than 20 minutes, 15 minutes for the 4-way, and then they had all these run-ins, And I think that the final match had a couple commercial breaks in it.
Yep.
It just felt disjointed. It felt like, why should we care about this match? And Solo shows up, and the Usos come out, and LA Knight, and all that stuff building to the match at SummerSlam. But I'm worried about SmackDown, and I'm worried about the guys at the top trying to carry this show. That people are going to lump them in with all the midness, the averageness of the show. And meanwhile, the AEW show keeps getting better right now. It's getting better. And so I'm not saying they're competing with WWE, but it's holding my interest more on the AEW side with what they're doing with Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley. I'm not a real big Kenny Omega guy, but, at least that was a swerve and entertaining. I'm just worried about the state of SmackDown and what's going to happen. I think, Blake Monroe coming in and coming after Tiffany Stratton, that's a little interesting. I don't have any confidence that they're going to do what's right. It seems like everybody's on Raw that you care about.
100%.
Yeah, and I love Chelsea Green, and but her and Kiana James had a match, and it was just right. So anyway, so that's really, the Gunther Aldis. It just are we gonna fuel the? Even if he ends Nick Aldis's career, no one's going, oh,
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just don't know what's happening with SmackDown, and maybe it's a chance to get Aldis out as the GM. But I thought, I didn't think he's being bad as a GM.
No, I do think they kind of tease him coming back as a wrestler. With the Adam Pearce kind of for me kind of foreshadowed that a little bit. So maybe we get that. And if so, good for him, right? That's great. I agree with you. I actually think he's a really good GM. I thought him and Pierce have been great. So we talked about this like a few weeks ago. Like, I think you're the one that first called it out of like, we're going down this path of Aldis and Gunther. And it's like, just good for Nick Aldis, because look, man, chase your dream. And if he has a chance to get back in the ring, by all means, man, do it. But in terms of storytelling, in terms of that, I just have a hard time believing that there's not a better story to tell with Nick Aldis than with what is supposed to be one of your top 2 or 3 technicians in the company. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't. But so we got 12 matches for SummerSlam right now. We got 12, and let's just go through I'm going to read through them, and then you tell me which ones you really are looking forward to and which ones you care nothing about.
Yep.
You got the Bella Twins and Paige versus Fatal Influence. Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor for the number 1 contenders match to the undisputed WWE Championship. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. LA Knight, Solo, and Royce Keys versus Jacob Fatu and the Usos. And boy, what are they doing with Fatu? He used to be scary and a menace, and now he's...
Yeah.
Anyway, United States Champion Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin. Gunther, Nick Aldis. Penta versus Chad Gable. Interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. Io Sky chooses to challenge for the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan at SummerSlam. And then CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. And then Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. What are you looking forward to the most? Maybe what are you excited about? And then what do you just like, please don't, let's not do that.
Yeah, the 6-woman tag match. I didn't realize when I said a second ago what's going to come next. I guess I didn't realize that they made that official. I must have missed it at some point. Fairly obvious, I suppose, but I don't really care about that. On my surprise, don't care about, it's Danhausen, Dominic Mysterio. Not that I don't care about it. I love both guys individually. We talked about this a little bit last week. I just think it doesn't do anything for either of them. No matter how this works out, it's bad for both, in my opinion. And so I don't love the idea of them being in a match, because I almost feel like it's a lose-lose for me. No matter how this goes, I'm going to be unhappy with the result, so I don't like it.
I got a way you won't be unhappy.
Okay.
Miz and Kit Wilson get involved, and we get the storyline back to them, because I said, don't get Danhausen involved with the Judgment Day. That's just, nobody wants to see that. So if there's a way that happens, and we're off the Judgment Day stuff, maybe you could be happy with that. I don't know.
Yeah. So take the short term loss for the long term gain. I would, yeah. I think at the end of it, I would be like, okay, good. At least we're done with that. So yeah, I think that I could see that. And then the last one that I genuinely have just zero interest in is the Gunther Nick Aldis. A lot of these I'm interested to see what happens. I wouldn't say it's like super high on my list, but I'm just curious to see how it goes. The ones that I'm most excited about are clearly the two championship matches, the Oba versus Brock. And then the one that I'm kind of could steal the show for me is the women's championship ladder match. We talked a little bit about the interim title and what that means and kind of the issues potentially for what that is. But man, Chelsea Green is a sneaky good entertainer, and putting her in a ladder match is always a good idea. And it looks like you're going to just have a who's who of the women's, Jade and Charlotte and Tiffany, and you got one spot left to fill. Um, you can do a lot of interesting stuff with that one spot. But to me, that's one that I'll be looking at as that could be the thing that everyone's talking about after it's all said and done.
Yeah, I agree. I think Reigns and Rollins. I want to see Rollins go over here. I know you
Agree.
don't, but you
No,
do.
I do, but only in the selfish way of I want Reigns to go over Rollins at WrestleMania.
Okay.
I want them to keep telling the story for the later payoff.
You can't beat them. Can't beat them, right?
Yeah.
And Punk and Rhodes, I think that they're the only two on SmackDown that are at that championship level. If you ask me, that's it. I don't think anybody else is there yet. They haven't elevated Fatu there, and I don't even know what show Fatu is on. Just to be honest with you. You said Io Sky and Liv Morgan. You didn't mention them, but they always put on great matches.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've seen it before, and I do love the this interaction that she's having with the Judgment Day ladies. So that's okay. I'm loving Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. I love Penta and Chad Gable. You didn't mention that one.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that match. That could steal the show. That one could. For me, we were worried what they're going to do with Chad Gable after the El Grande Americano run. And this could be something that vaults him if he takes the title off Penta. I'm not looking forward to Gunther Nick Aldis. I don't want to see Baron Corbin take on Trick Williams. That came out of left field, and I've told you all of the reasons why that's a bad idea. You disagreed with me.
Yep.
We'll see who's right. But I have no interest in Fatu and the Usos versus LA Knight, Solo, and Royce Keys. I really don't. I really don't have any. That match matters. I could not have that on the card and be just fine. We talked about Danhausen, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, no interest. And then the only interest I could have on Paige and the Bella Twins is if Paige turns on them.
Yep.
I've seen that reported in a couple areas. But for me, this is a top-heavy card and no need to have 2 nights of SummerSlam if half of the matches we get are just people aren't interested in. Now, we're talking about us. But let us know in the comments what match you're looking forward to the most at SummerSlam. This is, I don't know. Where would you rank SummerSlam in the order of events? Obviously, Mania and Royal Rumble. Is SummerSlam next?
I really, really am a sucker for Elimination Chamber. I know WWE would tell you it's number 2 or number 3. For me, I would go Mania, Rumble, Chamber, then SummerSlam.
I think it's still number 3 for me.
Yeah,
SummerSlam. Maybe we'll get heel Cody Rhodes coming out of this, and then that will be awesome. We saw a little bit in the promo that he's starting to lean towards, that way.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get that. I'm sure Lesnar's going to lose. If this is his retirement match, right? So again, it's top heavy. There's about 5 matches on here that we really care about that could have been a humongous success. SummerSlam one night, 5 great matches and a 1 opener. Like if you just had Reigns, Rollins, Punk, Rhodes, Io, Liv, Oba, Brock, and Penta, Gable. I mean, how many is that? 1, 2, 3. That's 5 matches. Then the interim women's ladder match, 6 matches. That could be one heck of a show.
Yeah.
But the rest of
You
this
water
stuff,
it down by doing everything else. Yeah.
so you'd made it 2 nights, but you didn't give us 2 great nights.
No.
And then they're going to split up the good matches. I get that. But to me, those 6 matches can be an unbelievable pay-per-view or PLE. So I'm just a little disappointed.
Make that money, baby. Got to make that money.
I know. It's corporate WWE. To me, it's watering down the product.
100%.
And when you can't make a 2-hour SmackDown relevant right before SummerSlam, we got problems, brother. Anything else to add to this SummerSlam preview?
No, I think you said it beautifully, man. We'll leave it right there.